Biden, in first call with Putin, presses on Navalny treaty.
Here's a summary of the article.
According to the White House, Biden raised concerns about the arrest of opposition figure Alexei Navalny, Russia's alleged involvement in a massive cyber espionage campaign, and reports of Russian bounties on American troops in Afghanistan. Unlike his immediate predecessors, including Trump, who was enamored of Putin and frequently undercut his own administration's tough stance on Russia, Biden has not held out hope for a reset in relations. With a heavy domestic agenda and looming decisions needed on Iran and China, a direct confrontation with Russia is not likely something Biden seeks. Although the leaders agreed to work together to extend New START before it expires February 5 and to look at other areas of potential strategic cooperation, the White House said Biden was firm on U.S. support for Ukraine's sovereignty, while Russia is supporting separatists in the country's east. President Biden made clear that the United States will act firmly in defense of its national interests in response to actions by Russia that harm us or our allies, the White House said. Biden's team has already reacted strongly to the crackdown on the protests, in which more than 3,700 people were arrested across Russia, including more than 1,400 in Moscow. Biden, in his call with Putin, broke sharply with Trump by declaring that he knew that Russia attempted to interfere with both the 2016 and 2020 U.S. elections.
This post received a score of 13,000, with an upvote ratio of 95%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Also brought up the SolarWinds hack, which will define our response to cyber threats for years to come.
Also, Biden allegedly brought up issue of Russian bounties to kill Americans in Afghanistan.
Wow, so Biden was like, okay, I have a list. Let's start in 2016?
Putin said, fuck your list. Make me.
Putin always smiles and tells to every president, show me the evidence smirk.
TBF, the reason he always does this is because it always works. The American public may be willing to trust anonymous intelligence community insiders as sources on international relations, but the same is not necessarily true for the rest of the world. I don't know what the Americans in your mind are like, but in my experience, half the country ignores even ironclad proof of Russian wrongdoing because they understand it's what Trump would want them to believe, and a large portion of the rest of the population would disbelieve it because they consider the CIA imperialist.
Plenty of Americans have seen the clear influence from Russia in the last two elections. I actually worked for the county in 2016 canvassing when our data collection program was hacked through a built-in back door. We had to switch to paper files for everything for the last 3 weeks before the election. It was actually really surreal to experience.
If you've been on any conservative subreddit, you'll find that they're basically on flat earth levels when it comes to denying obvious evidence of Russian collusion.
Unless it's in their favor, of course.
U.S. RU. Interesting that Russia didn't mention hacks bounties Navalny, while U.S. didn't mention Open Skies Treaty Iranian nuclear program UN summit.
Whoa, actual presidential transcripts of calls with foreign leaders. When did that start happening?
With Russia no less. How 2016?
There isn't a transcript available as far as I can tell.
I mean, who wants to read pages of gurgle 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 from Trump being Putin's cock holster?
It would crush the R party. Nobody's tougher on Russia. Yet Biden says WTF about bounties. Then again, not mentioning Open Skies and Iran deal. Sounds soft.
Yeah, and Fox News will focus solely on what they didn't bring up, ignoring the fact that they don't have all fucking day and they've got 4 years of bullshit to clean up.
I've heard the White House press conferences. I also dabble in Fox News when I want to see what BS they put out. They only want to say we are being divisive. I think they will actually try Trump again for re-election. It will be sweet to watch the Republican Party struggle. As long as we push progressive policies, we should stay in power. But not a good start with being bitches to McConnell while in majority.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.